flow control statements or control flow statements. Generally, what are control flow statements? Why we need to use this control flow statements? We'll discuss for today's session. Okay. So generally, the statements in every Java program will be executed from top to bottom in a sequential manner. I mean, if you write a Java program, we have seen all the Java programs right till now. So all of the programs statements are executed from top to bottom in sequential manner. Sequential manner means what? Line by line. Okay. So this execution is known as what? Sequential execution. Say example, if you want to alter or modify the sequential execution, then we use what? Flow control statements or control flow statements. Okay. I mean, I just want to execute some statements repeatedly, or if I want to, based on the condition, I just want to execute the statements. If condition is true, then the statements gets executed. If condition is false, then the statement should be skipped. So in that case, you are going to use this control flow statements. Okay, got it? So in every Java program, statements will be executed from top to bottom in a sequential manner. Okay, so that execution is known as sequential execution. If you want to alter or modify the sequential execution, that means some statements should be executed based on the condition, or some statements should be executed for several number of times, then we are going to use this flow control statements. Okay, so these flow control statements are classified into three categories. Number one is branching statements, the second one is looping statements, and the third one is transfer statements. Okay, so now the next one is branching statements. First one, branching, or we can call it as a decision making statements also. Okay, we can call it as a decision making statement or branching statement. Got it? Fine. So transferring the control from one place to another place within the program is nothing but what? Branching. So if you transfer the control from one place to another place within the program, nothing but what? Branching. Got it? So if you move the control, okay, from one place to another place within the program is nothing but branching. Here we have two types of branching statements available, but Java supports only one type of branching statements. The first one is conditional branching statement. Another one is unconditional branching statement. First one is conditional branching statement, right? Here we have examples. So for conditional branching statement means what? You are writing some condition. So based on the condition, statements gets executed. If condition is true, statements will be executed. If condition is false, statements will be skipped, not executed. Okay, so the examples for these conditional branching statements are simple if else, nested if else if ladder, and switch statement. Now, these are all the examples for conditional branching statement. Unconditional branching statement, the name itself telling there is no condition at all, just the statements gets executed. So for that unconditional branching statement, the example is go to statement. Java does not support this go to statement. Of course, go to keyword is there in Java, but it does not support go to statement. Maybe in future versions it may use, we don't know, but at present up to now the go to statement does not work in Java. Understood? So branching means what? If you transfer the control from one place to another place within the program, that is nothing but branching. We have two types of branching statements. One is conditional branching statement, another one is unconditional branching statement. Conditional branching statement means what? Here you will be writing some condition. If the condition is true, then only the statements gets executed. If the condition is false, the statements will be skipped, not executed. The examples for conditional branching are all these things: simple if else, nested if else if ladder, and switch. For unconditional branching, the example is go to. Java does not support this go to statement. Okay, coming to the looping statements. So here we have looping statements. Looping means what? If you execute a group of statements or block of statements repeatedly until some condition becomes false. You have written some group of statements, or we can call it as a block of statements, right? So that statements, that group of statements will be executed until that condition becomes false. Whenever that condition is false, then the loop will get skipped, not executed. Got it? So that is nothing but looping, executing a group of statements or block of statements repeatedly until some condition becomes false is nothing but what? Looping. We have two types of loops available. One is entry control loop and the another one is exit control loop. Entry control loop in the sense where you are writing the condition at the starting itself. Got it? So you are writing condition at the starting itself, and that condition will be checked. If it is true, then only the control will enter into the loop or block. If the condition is false for the first time itself, then the block or loop does not execute it at all. Okay, but whereas coming to the exit control loop, where you are writing the condition at the bottom, so first the body of the loop gets executed first time. At the end, it will checks for the condition. If condition is false, then the loop will get skipped, not executed. That means even though condition fails for the first time, but still the body of the loop is executed for at least once, because we have written the condition at the bottom in the exit controlled loops. Okay, am I going fast? Am I going fast? If so, please
No,
let me know. Yes?
Okay, no.
No, okay, done.
No.
Fine. So here looping statements means what? So here we have two types of loops, entry control loop and exit control loop. Okay, in the entry control loop where you are writing the condition in the starting itself. Okay, so first the condition is checked. If the condition is true, then only the body of the loop will get executed. If the condition is false for the first time, the body of the loop never executed at all. Got it? It doesn't enter into the loop at all. Okay, if the condition fails for the first time. The examples for entry control loops are while loop and for loop. Okay, now exit control loop, where in this exit control loop you are writing the condition at the bottom. Okay, so first the body of the loop gets executed. Okay, at the end it will checks for the condition. If the condition is true, again the loop will get executed. It's go back and then the loop gets executed. Say example, first time body of the loop first executed, at the end it checks for the condition. Say example, if the condition fails for the first time itself, then the control never goes back and executes the code. That means even though condition fails for the first time, body of the loop is executed for at least once. Okay, that is nothing but exit control loop. So the example for exit control loop is do while loop. Got it? Next. In Java, we have one more loop known as for each loop, or we can call it as advanced for loop, enhanced for loop, or we can call it as a for in loop also. Okay, so we have one more looping statement known as that is added in Java, right? For each loop, or advanced for loop, enhanced for loop, or for in loop. Got it? Next we have transfer statements. Just if you want to move the control from one place to another place, okay, we will use this transfer statements. Examples of transfer statements, I mean three types of transfer statements are there. One is break, continue, and return statement. Okay, here we have break statement. Break statement also again categorized into two types, labeled break and unlabeled break. And coming to the continue statement, we have two types of continue statements are there, labeled continue and unlabeled continue. Okay, so two types of continue and two types of breaks. And return statement is there, labeled break, unlabeled break, labeled continue, unlabeled continue. Okay, these are the transfer statements. Got it clear? So why we need control flow statements? Generally the programs will execute from top to bottom in a sequential manner. That execution is known as sequential execution. If you want to alter or modify the sequential execution, then we are going to use this flow control statements. These are classified into three categories: branching, looping, and transfer. Branching means we can call it as decision making statements. I mean, if you just want to execute some statements, depends on the condition. Okay, so just transfers the control from one place to another place within the program, nothing but branching or decision making statements. Here we have two types of branchings, conditional branching and unconditional branching. But example for conditional branching are all these things. Here we have a condition, based on that condition the statements gets executed. Okay, where in the conditional branching statement, examples are simple if else, nested if else if ladder, and switch statement. For unconditional branching statement, there is no condition at all, just the statement gets executed. The examples for unconditional branching statement is what? Go to, which does not supported by Java. Got it? Fine. So these conditional branching statements first we will discuss. Later on we'll go for the looping statements and transfer statements. Okay, so in the conditional branching statement, the first one is a simple if statement. The first one is what? Simple if statement. Let's go to simple if statement now. Yeah, simple if. It is a conditional branching statement. Yes or no? It is a conditional branching statement. Syntax. What is the syntax of simple if? Very simple. You just write if condition. You write some condition here and you write the statement. Statement 1 you have written and statement X you have written. Got it? So this is what the syntax of simple if statement. So here the condition you are writing, right? This condition should be a Boolean value. That means it should be either true or false. Under this if, only one statement is allowed without curly braces. Here, am I using any curly braces here? No, I'm not using any curly braces. If I don't use any curly braces, under if, only one statement is allowed without curly braces. And that too, that statement should not be a declarative statement. Bindu, what is declarative statement? Int A semicolon, int B is equals to 20. Declaration, I'm declaring a variable, right? So under if, only one statement is allowed without curly braces, and that statement should not be a declarative statement. Okay, and say example, if you want to write multiple statements under if, we should place it inside the curly braces. If you want to write only single statement, no need of curly braces. But if you want to write multiple statements under if, we should write what? We should place it in a curly braces. Okay, if you want to write multiple statements under if, we should write it in, we should place it in with curly braces. Here we have written statement X now. This statement X is a normal statement. Okay, it is a normal statement which will be executed every time whether condition is true or false. Okay, statement X is a normal statement. Okay, so it will be executed whether this condition is true or false. Statement X will get executed. Why? Because see, first this condition is checked. If it is true, then only statement 1 executed. If the condition is false, statement 1 will get skipped, not executed. But whether the condition is true or false, a statement X always executes because it is a normal statement which is not under if condition. Okay, which is not under if condition. Got it clear? Yes. So this is what the simple if statement. Okay, simple if is a conditional branching statement. This is a syntax. If condition statement 1 statement X, here condition should be Boolean value. That means it will be either true or false. Under if, only one statement allowed without curly braces, and that statement should not be declarative statement. If you want to write multiple statements under if, you should place it inside the curly braces. And this statement X is a normal statement which is not under if. So that's why it will be executed every time whether condition is true or false. Got it?
Yeah, Bindu, if condition is true, then the statement 1 will execute, right?
Venu, please repeat.
Previous screen slide kelandi.
Yeah, please. 1 second. Cheppandi.
Yeah, ikkada syntax if condition parenthesis lo undi, if the condition is true, then it will go to the statement 1. ఒకవేళ false అయితే skip చేస్తుంది. బట్ రెండు కేసులలో స్టేట్మెంట్ ఎక్స్ ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది, రైట్?
షూర్.
ఓకే, అంటే మరి స్టేట్మెంట్ 1 ఓన్లీ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ కావాలి, స్టేట్మెంట్ 2 లైక్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఎక్స్ అనేది కావాలంటే యాక్చువల్ గా మనం కర్లీ బ్రేసెస్ లో పెట్టాలి కదా. ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ ఇస్ ట్రూ దెన్ ఓపెన్ లైక్
అది ఎప్పుడు అంటే మనము ఇప్పుడు కర్లీ బ్రేసెస్ ఎందుకు యూస్ చేస్తామంటే ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ కింద ఒకటే స్టేట్మెంట్ ఉంటే మనకు కర్లీ బ్రేస్ అనేది అవసరం లేదు. బట్ కానీ మనం మల్టిపుల్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ రాస్తున్నాము అన్నప్పుడు మనం కర్లీ బ్రేసెస్ లో ప్లేస్ చేస్తాం అన్నమాట. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఎక్స్ అనేది దట్ ఈస్ ఎ నార్మల్ స్టేట్మెంట్. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ దట్ ఇఫ్ కండిషన్. ఇట్ విల్ బి ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్ నార్మలీ వెదర్ ద కండిషన్ ఈస్ ట్రూ ఆర్ ఫాల్స్. ఓకే, బట్ కొన్ని కేసెస్ ఉంటాయి, కొన్ని సిచ్యువేషన్స్ ఉంటాయి. అటువంటి కేసెస్ లో ఏమవుతుందంటే ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ కాదనమాట, ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఎక్స్. అది ఎందుకు అనేది నేను ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ లో చెప్తాను మీకు. మనం లూప్స్ లో చెప్పుకున్నాం.
ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ పెట్టినప్పుడు సో ఓపెన్ బ్రేసెస్ క్లోజ్ బ్రేసెస్ మ్యాండేటరీ
కాదు open brace and close brace is not mandatory. See, condition should be placed in curly brace. See, ఈ parenthesis లో ఈ condition పెట్టాలి కంపల్సరీగా. Condition should be placed in parenthesis, but the statements what you are writing, it's not mandatory here to place curly braces. ఎప్పుడు if you are writing only single statement under if, curly brace is not mandatory. But అలా కాదు బిందు, I just want to write some n number of statements under if the condition is true, all that n number of statements should get executed అన్నప్పుడు మనం కంపల్సరీ కర్లీ బ్రేస్ యూస్ చేయాలి. ఇక్కడ నేను ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ కింద ఓన్లీ సింగిల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ యూస్ చేస్తున్నాను కాబట్టి ఐఎమ్ నాట్ యూజింగ్ ఎనీ కర్లీ బ్రేసెస్ హియర్. బట్ వెన్ ఐ వాంట్ టు ప్లేస్ మోర్ దాన్ వన్ స్టేట్మెంట్ హియర్, కంపల్సరీ ఐ షుడ్ ప్లేస్ ఇట్ ఇన్సైడ్ ద కర్లీ బ్రేస్. అదర్వైజ్ ద ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ విల్ ట్రీట్ ఓన్లీ సింగిల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ యాజ్ అండర్ దట్ ఇఫ్ కండిషన్. ఇక్కడ నేను స్టేట్మెంట్ 1 రాశాను, ఈవెన్ ఇప్పుడు నేను స్టేట్మెంట్ 2 కూడా రాస్తాను. ఓకే, 1 second, I'll show it to you. సో ఇప్పుడు ఇలా కండిషన్ రాసి నేను ఇక్కడ స్టేట్మెంట్ 1 రాశాను. ఓకే, అండ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ 2 కూడా రాశాను. బోత్ షుడ్ బి దేర్ అండర్ ఇఫ్ ఓన్లీ. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇలా రాయకూడదు, బికాస్ అండర్ ఇఫ్ మనకి ఇక్కడ ఒక స్టేట్మెంట్ లేదు, మల్టిపుల్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సో కంపల్సరీ యూ పుట్ ఇట్ ఇన్సైడ్ ద కర్లీ బ్రేస్ అన్నమాట. ఇది మ్యాండేటరీ ఇక్కడ, because I just want to mention all these 2 statements should be there under this if condition. అటువంటి కేసులో కంపల్సరీ కర్లీ బ్రేస్ అవసరం. అలా కాదు, ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఓన్లీ 1 స్టేట్మెంట్ అన్నప్పుడు నో నీడ్ ఆఫ్ కర్లీ బ్రేస్ అన్నమాట. యూ కెన్ సింప్లీ రైట్ దట్ స్టేట్మెంట్.
ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు ఇదే కండిషన్ లో ఇదే దీనికి ఎల్స్ రాయాలంటే మళ్ళీ నెక్స్ట్
హియర్ యూ విల్ రైట్ ఎల్స్ అండ్ హియర్ యూ విల్ రైట్
కర్లీ బ్రేసెస్. ఓకే, యా, గాట్ ఇట్.
Okay, now we have discussed about the simple if, right? For that simple if statement, okay, we will discuss about the example programs and then we'll go for the if else statement. Okay, so that's what I said. Once again I'm telling you, under if only one statement allowed without curly braces, and that statement should not be a declarative statement. Please remember this point. It should not be a declarative statement. Let's take these examples. Okay, fine. So these are all the examples for simple if. Okay, that I'm going to explain now. You practice actually. 1 second, I'll just open it. I have written the class name as class if one. Save this program. Go to this PC, Java 2020, and here you create a folder. Flow control. Inside this flow control, you place if1.java. Okay, if1.java. Now, so go to the examples. 1 second. Yeah, this one. What I said, when I am explaining the condition, I said condition should be Boolean value. That means it should be true or false, either true or false. It should not be 1 or it should not be 0. But here I wrote 1. Got it? What happens? Let's observe. Control C. Here you paste it. You have written if 1, SOPLN, hi you wrote. Control 1, compilation. Incompatible types. Int cannot be converted to Boolean. Here you should write a Boolean value. That means either true or false, either true or false. But you wrote what? Integer. 1 is an integer, right? That's why you got the error saying that what? Incompatible types. Int cannot be converted to Boolean. This int cannot be converted to Boolean. Okay. So that is the error you will get it. Generally in the C language, we will treat 1 as a true and 0 as a false. But in Java, 1 is 1 only, 0 is 0 only. Boolean value means true, false. You have to get to true or false. You don't consider 1 or 0, 1 and 0 as true and false in Java. Okay. So here you should write either true or false. That is correct. If you write condition, if it becomes a true or false, that is also correct. But you should not write 1 and 0 like this. So when you write 1 or 0, you will get incompatible types. Int cannot be converted to Boolean. That's the error you will get it. Got it? Next one, the same error. If 0 in the place of 1, what you are writing? You are writing 0 and you are compiling control 1. The same error you will get it. Incompatible types. Int cannot be converted to Boolean. That's the same error you will get it. Okay, fine. Next time what you are doing? You are writing if true, hello. That means in the place of 0, you are writing true, and here you are writing what? Hello. I said now this condition should be Boolean value. It should be either true or false. Because the condition is true, the statement under that if condition will get executed. That means what is the output here? Hello is the output. Successfully compiled. Control 2. Hello will get printed. Got it? Next. One second. If false. Okay. So here if false means what? This time what you are doing? In the place of true, you are writing false. In the place of true, you are writing false. Okay. SOPLN hello you have written. Because the condition is false, the statement written under that if does not execute it. So now what is the output? You won't get any output. Condition false now. That's why the below statement is not executed. That's why you didn't get any output here. Got it? Next, you declared one variable int a and you have written like this. Let's take this example. 1 second. Control C, copy and paste it here. You declared one variable and you are assigning 10 value to a variable if a is equals to 10. Now when you assign 10 value to a contains what? 10. That means indirectly in this condition you have written what? 10. 10 is what? Integer. Is integer allowed here? No. Only true or false allowed. Yes. That's why you will get the same error. What is that? First error. Incompatible types. Int cannot be converted to Boolean. That is the error you will get it here. Got it? Next. The same example I am doing here. Control C. Control V. But this time I already assigned 10 to A. Okay, I declared a variable. At the same time I stored value 10 into a variable. Here I am writing double equal. Double equal is what? Equality operator. I am comparing. A 10 na? 10 equals to 10 true. 10 equals to 10 true, right? That's why high is printed. Now when you execute, you will get high. 10 equals to 10 true, right? That's why the below statement gets executed. You got the output as high. Okay. Next, you have taken one Boolean variable B, where to the Boolean variable you stored what? True. Okay, to the Boolean variable you stored what? True. B is not a normal integer variable. B is a Boolean variable. You stored true. If B is what? True. Yes or no? B is what? True. Condition should be Boolean value, right? Yes. B is a Boolean variable and it contains true. Here you have written B place, true is placed. True means the below statement gets executed. So what is the output? High is the output here. Okay. Next, example 8. Same thing. In the place of Boolean variable b, you instead of true, you wrote what? False. Then what? B, false. False means this below statement not executed. So output means nothing. No output. You don't get any output here. That's it. Got it?
So,
Yeah,
one
please tell me.
question. If I want to execute that statement, if the statement is false, అంటే ఇప్పుడు b equal to false అన్నప్పుడే నేను ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయాలి.
అది అలా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ కాదు. b ఈక్వల్స్ టు ఫాల్స్ అన్నప్పుడు మనము ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఏదైతే ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ కింద రాసామో ఆ స్టేట్మెంట్ మనకి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ కాదు. ఒకవేళ అలా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వాలి అనుకుంటే మనం ఎల్స్ కి వెళ్ళిపోవాలి. అంటే ఫాల్స్ అయినప్పుడు, అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఇది ఫాల్స్ అయిందంటే ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్ మనకి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అసలు కాదు, అవునా? కానీ కొన్ని సిచ్యువేషన్స్ ఉంటాయి, ట్రూ అయితే మనకు ఒకటి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ కావాలి, ఫాల్స్ అయితే ఇంకొకటి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ కావాలి అని, అవునా? ఇన్ దట్ కేస్ మనం సింపుల్ ఇఫ్ కి ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ ఇఫ్ ఎల్స్ దానికి వెళ్తాం అన్నమాట.
ఓకే
ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు సింపుల్ ఇఫ్ లో ఏంటంటే మనకు ట్రూ అయితేనే ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది, ఫాల్స్ అయితే ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ కాదు. బట్ ఇఫ్ ఈవెన్ దో కండిషన్ ఫెయిల్స్ బట్ స్టిల్ నాకు ఒక స్టేట్మెంట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వాలి బిందు అంటే యూ షుడ్ గో విత్ ఇఫ్ ఎల్స్ స్టేట్మెంట్ అన్నమాట. దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ వై వి టు ఇఫ్ ఎల్స్.
ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు అక్కడ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 7 లో ఇఫ్ బి అని అన్నారు కదా, ఒకవేళ అక్కడ నాట్ కండిషన్ అట్లా ఏమన్నా యూస్ చేయొచ్చా? అంటే
చేయొచ్చు, చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది? ఫాల్స్ అవుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, మీరు ఏమంటున్నారు, ఇక్కడ నేను ట్రూ పెట్టాను బి వేరియబుల్, బూలియన్ వేరియబుల్, ఇక్కడ నాట్ పెడతాను. నాట్ బి అంటే ఏమవుతుంది? అది నాట్ ట్రూ అంటే ఫాల్స్ అవుతుంది. అప్పుడు నాకు ఇదేమవుతుంది? ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ కాదు, అంతే కదా? ఓ సరే, కింద బిలో స్టేట్మెంట్ డజంట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్, యూ వోంట్ గెట్ ఎనీ అవుట్పుట్. ఏమైంది? మీరు బి వేరియబుల్ ట్రూ అనే ఇచ్చారు, బట్ ఇక్కడ నాట్ పెట్టడం వల్ల నాట్ ట్రూ అంటే ఫాల్స్ అయిపోయింది. ఫాల్స్ కాబట్టి బిలో స్టేట్మెంట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ కాదు. అదే ఇక్కడ ఫాల్స్ పెట్టారనుకోండి, నాట్ ఫాల్స్ అంటే ట్రూ అవుతుంది. ఇన్ దట్ కేస్ హాయ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. ఆపోజిట్ కదా నాట్ అంటే. ఇంకా ఇలాగా
సో ఓన్లీ ట్రూ అయితేనే ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ లోది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. ఫాల్స్ అయితే మాత్రం ఐదర్ ఎల్స్ రాసుకోవడం తప్ప మనకి ఇఫ్ లో ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వదు.
ఇఫ్ లో ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వదు. యా ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ. సో ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసేటప్పటికి ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఏ 5 తీసుకున్నాం కదా. ఇప్పుడు 5 గ్రేటర్ దాన్ 6 ట్రూ ఆ ఫాల్సా? ఫాల్స్. ఫాల్స్ కాబట్టి the below statement does not executed, so you won't get any output here. If you copy this code into there, you won't get any output because 5 greater than 6 false. False means this statement will be skipped, not executed. Go to example 10. Example 10 lo em cheppamu, a is equals to 5 place chesamu, assign chesam 5 ni. 5 less than 6 antunnam. 5 less than 6 is true kada, that's why high print avutundi. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, ఇప్పుడు 11th example చూడండి. If true, int a is equals to 5 అంటున్నా. ఇక్కడ నేను ఒక కండిషన్ చెప్పాను. Under if without curly braces, one statement allowed. And that statement should not be declarative statement అన్నాను. And that statement should not be declarative statement. ఇఫ్ కింద మనకు వితౌట్ కర్లీ బ్రేసెస్ యూ కెన్ రైట్ సింగిల్ స్టేట్మెంట్. ఆ స్టేట్మెంట్ మనకు డిక్లరేటివ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ అయి ఉండకూడదు, అవునా? సో ఇప్పుడు కాబట్టి మనకి ఏమొస్తుంది ఎర్రర్? డిక్లరేటివ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ నాట్ అలౌడ్ హియర్, వేరియబుల్ డిక్లరేషన్ నాట్ అలౌడ్ హియర్. దట్ ఈస్ ఎర్రర్. సి, వేరియబుల్ డిక్లరేషన్ నాట్ అలౌడ్ హియర్, దిస్ ఇస్ ఎర్రర్, యూ విల్ గెట్ ఇట్ హియర్. ఓకే, సో అండర్ ఇఫ్ ఒక స్టేట్మెంట్ రాయొచ్చు, ఆ స్టేట్మెంట్ మనకు డిక్లరేటివ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ అయి ఉండకూడదు. మరి సేమ్ ఇఫ్ ఫాల్స్ ఇంటి A5, ఇక్కడ ట్రూ బదులు మనం ఏం రాస్తున్నాము? ఫాల్స్ రాస్తున్నాం. బిందు మనం ఫాల్స్ కదా రాసాము, అప్పుడు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వచ్చా అంటే నో. వెదర్ యూ రైట్ ట్రూ ఆర్ ఫాల్స్, దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ద క్వశ్చన్ హియర్. Syntactically you should not write this statement at all, whether it is true or false. Condition should be true or false, that is secondary. You should not write this statement here. Syntactically it should not be written there. Got it? So general game anukuntam ante false rasam kabatti raayachemo anukuntam, but no, variable declaration not allowed there, whether the condition is true or false. Got it? Fine. Next one. ఇప్పుడు ఇది చూడండి, 1 second. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఇఫ్ ట్రూ రాశారు, ఓకే, int a is equals to 5, SOPLN a is equals to a value you are printing. Okay, Bindu, not allowed. No. Without curly braces, if you declare a variable, then it is not allowed. Inside the curly braces you have written, then nothing problem at all. You are declaring a variable here, a is equals to 5. This is a local variable to this particular if block. Okay, a variable declare చేశారు, assigned 5 to a, and then you are printing here a is equals to a value 5 will be printed here. SOPLN a is equals to will be printed, and in the place of a 5 will be printed. Got it? So when you execute this statement, you will get the output as a is equals to 5. That's what the same thing for this one, example 14. You have written false because the condition you wrote false, that's why this entire block gets skipped, not executed. So you won't get any output in this case. Same case, but in the place of true you wrote what? False. See, you won't get any output because you wrote false. That entire block gets skipped, not executed. And now let's see here. If true, you have written like this. That means what? Under if you have written only one statement without curly braces, one statement only allowed, right? Under if SOPLN hello you wrote, what is the output? Because you wrote true, this statement gets executed, and this high statement is a normal statement which is executed whether condition is true or false. Okay, in both the cases this statement gets executed. So what is the output? Hello and hi, both are printed. See, this is what the output, you will get it. Hello, hi. Got it? Next. Example 16. The same thing you wrote, but in the place of true you have written what? False. Okay. Because it is false, this statement is skipped, not executed, and this statement is not under if, so it is executed whether condition is true or false. So what is printed? Only hi is printed. Got it? Understood? Next, example 17. Very simple. You have declared a variable a where you assign 10 to a variable, and you have written condition 10 greater than 5 true. True means what? Hello is printed. Okay, 10 greater than 5 true. True means hello is printed, and next hi is also printed because hi is a normal statement which is executed whether condition is true or false. Got it? You copy it and then you paste it here. Hello and hi is the output here. Got it? Next, int a is equals to 10. Okay, the same example, but here you change the logic. A less than 5 you wrote. 10 less than 5 false, right? That's why this statement is skipped, not executed. Only high is printed. So in the place of greater than, you wrote less than. The same program that you compile and execute, you will get the output as only high. Because the condition became false, only high is printed. Got it? So this is what the example. Got it? Next, write a Java program to read two numbers and find biggest number among them using what? Using simple if. Okay, write a Java program to read two numbers and find biggest number among them using simple if. But I've forgotten something. Before going to explain these programs, first of all, I have to explain input statements in Java. There are so many methods to read input in Java, right? Buffer reader, scanner, console, command line arguments, files, everything. I didn't explain that topic, right? So, okay, let it be. I have explained simple if statement and you understood, right? Simple if. Now I'll explain input statements in Java. Then we'll go for this examples of simple if statement. Okay, we'll discuss about the simple if examples after discussing that input statements concept. Got it? Fine.
బిందు ఇంతకుముందు స్లైడ్ లో ఒక ఫస్ట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఒకటి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయరు
ఏది?
అదే if a greater than b then a is bigger and if b greater
అది
than
ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయాలంటే ఇది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయాలంటే రీడింగ్ ఏబి వాల్యూస్ ఎట్లా రీడ్ చేయాలో తెలియాలని చెప్పేసి అని నేను ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయట్లేదు, అది చెప్పలేదు అనమాట ఇంకా. సో అందువల్ల ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసాను, ఇన్పుట్ మెథడ్స్ కి వచ్చాను.
ఓకే, నా క్వరీ ఏంటంటే యాక్చువల్గా ఆ స్టేట్మెంట్ లో మనం ఎల్స్ రాయలే కదా, ఈవెన్ దో మనం ఏ అండ్ బి వాల్యూ డిక్లేర్ చేసాం అనుకోండి, ఏ ఈక్వల్ 5 బి ఈక్వల్ టు 3 సంథింగ్ లైక్ దట్. ఓకే,
అవును, ఇట్ విల్ వర్క్ ఫైన్. ఎల్స్ అవసరం లేదు. నో నో, యు డోంట్ నీడ్ ఎనీ ఎల్స్ హియర్. హియర్ యు ఆర్ కంపేరింగ్ ఏ విత్ బి అండ్ బి విత్ ఏ. If a is greater than b, then you are printing a is bigger. Again you are comparing b is greater than a. In that case b is bigger will be printed. So you need to write two conditions. One is for true condition, one is for false condition in the simple if. Okay, so general ga మనం ఇప్పుడు say example ఇప్పుడు ఒక number divisible by 2 or not అని తెలుసుకోవాలంటే if n modulo division 2 equals to 0 అని రాయాలి, not equals to 0 అని రాయాలి. వన్ కండిషన్ ట్రూ కి వన్ కండిషన్ ఫాల్స్ కి రెండు రాయాల్సి వస్తుంది అనమాట. ఆ ప్రాబ్లం వల్లనే మనం ఇఫ్ ఎల్స్ కి వచ్చాం. అక్కడ ఏంటంటే సెకండ్ కండిషన్ అంటే ఓన్లీ ట్రూ కండిషన్ ఒక్కటి రాసి సెకండ్ కండిషన్ బదులు మనం ఎల్స్ రీప్లేస్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఇప్పుడు ఏ ఇస్ గ్రేటర్ దాన్ బి అన్నాం ఇక్కడ. ఇప్పుడు ఏ బి కంటే బిగ్గర్ కాదు అని తెలిసినప్పుడు ఇంకేది బిగ్గర్? బినే కదా బిగ్గర్. అక్కడ మరీ మనం కంపారిజన్ చేసి బి గ్రేటర్ దాన్ ఏనా అని చెక్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, అంతే కదా. So when you write a greater than b, if a is not greater than b, obviously b is bigger one. Okay, in that case no need to write this b greater than a again. That's why in the place of that we replaced else. Instead of writing the false condition second time, we replaced it with else. That is an extension to simple if else is.
Okay,
fine. So, we have discussed about all the operators and the separators. These are separators where you will use parentheses. So, parentheses means what? These are used in the methods. Okay. So, general ga methods tarata arguments ni hold cheyadaniki cast operator methods lo it will be used in the methods to hold the arguments, and as a cast operator also, if you write data type inside the parentheses, it is known as casting, right? Cast operator, right? And the square brackets, this is also a separator where you will be using in arrays to represent the dimension or size. And the curly braces, already, curly braces are generally used for writing the class code or method code or block code, something, right? Okay, and you will be using semicolon as the end of the statement, and comma, that's used to combine one or more statements together and write it as a single statement. Okay, so more than one statement, if you want to combine and form it as a single statement, then you are going to use this comma. That means, example I'll tell you. I'll be writing A is equals to 10. Okay, and B is equals to 20, and C is equals to A plus B. I have written three statements like this. Now I'll write like this: A 10, comma B 20, comma C is equals to A plus B. Like this I'll write as a single statement. That's the use of comma. Got it? Multiple statements you can combine together and form it as a single expression or single statement. That's the use of comma. Got it?
So
Fine.
Bindu అక్కడ
Yeah, please.
when we are comma యూస్ చేసేటప్పుడు should they be like in the same line?
Generally. One second. Okay, the same thing. Okay, but you can use comma in
అదే
another place.
పైన రాస్తే
Here you can use
ఏంటి
comma to separate the variables. But here what I mean to say is, if you want to combine multiple expressions together and write it as a single expression, then you are going to use the comma operator. Wait 1 second, I'll tell you. Yeah, 1 second, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. It works fine, but I don't know why it's not working. Generally, to combine two or more statements together only, we are using comma. Here in this case, we are using comma, but to separate the variables. But if you want to write like this, 2 or 3 statements like this as separate statements, instead of writing like that, you can combine together and write it as a single statement. For that, we'll use comma, actually. So I'll explain. Okay, let me check once and then I'll update you. And here colon, This is used in the switch case to write the case labels. Okay, and this colon is also used in labeled break and labeled continue also. Okay, and next one is dot. Dot is used, you know already, to separate the package name with class name, or to call the variables or methods using object name like this. No, you will use the dot operator. Java dot util, Java dot IO, Java dot lang, and obj dot m1 method, obj dot a is equals to 10. Like that, no, you will be using the dot operator. These are all known as what? Separators. Okay. So these are all known as parentheses, square brackets, curly braces, semicolon, comma, colon, and dot. These are all known as separators. Got it? Fine. Now the input methods. Yeah, this is what our topic for session. Okay, so we'll continue in the tomorrow session. Okay, but still I will explain a little bit. So accepting input through the keyboard at runtime. So generally, when we give the input to the variables at compile time, then the problem is always we'll get the same output. Yes or no? Got it? Simple. I have written like this. Okay, I'll write A is equals to 10, B is equals to 20, and I'll write C is equals to A plus B. When I print system.out.println, when I print C is equals to plus C. C is the concatenate, plus is a concatenation operator here. You know, this string, whatever you write inside string, that is printed as usual. And instead of comma, in the C language, you will use comma to combine together, right? That's why here we are using plus. In Java, we are using plus. C value is printed. What is the C value? 30. How many times you execute this program? How many times you execute this program? You got the output as C30 only. I have executed for 100 times, 1000th time, 2000th time, 30 only you are getting. This is the problem. When we give the input to the variables at compilation time itself, this is what the problem. Always will get the same output, but that is not suitable for real-time applications. Okay, so real-time application means where the user has to provide the input through the keyboard at runtime. Based on the input provided by the user, you have to get the output. Okay, so 1 second. To overcome this problem, okay, this is not suitable for real-time applications. To overcome this problem, we are reading the input through the keyboard at runtime, so that we'll get the relevant output based on the given output. Got it? So to overcome this problem, we are reading input through the keyboard at runtime, so that we'll get the relevant output based on the given input. Okay. So actually in the C language, you will be using scanf, and in the C++, you will be using cin object. But here in Java, so many ways are there to read input through the keyboard at runtime. So many ways are there. What are those? Using buffer reader and input stream reader classes, using scanner class, using console class, using command line arguments, using resource bundle file, properties file, using input streams, and using XML document also. Got it? But here in this case, here we are focusing on buffer reader, scanner, console, command line, and input streams. This I'm going to explain it here. Later we'll discuss about the other things. Got it? So these are the different ways to read input through the keyboard at runtime.